So I came across this VSL on Insta, and the headline: the single most effective framework to empower your journey to sexual wellness and confidence. No dopamine, there is no positioning, there is no inference to how something is going to work. None of that shit that makes copy work. So I thought I'll do a review of this copy and see of this VSL and share my insights along the way.
This is a rusty knife. In just a few minutes, I'm going to show you what this rusty knife can teach you. How to improve your sexual wellness while addressing.
So it starts with, this is a rusty knife. It creates curiosity, but there is no positioning. There is no inference to mechanism. There is no self-identification. It's just the hook the people kind of thing. But as Mark Pescetti says, there is no positioning. Positioning is the hook. It's not happening there. He gets into introducing himself
dysfunction and premature ejaculation within 45 days, all while keeping your identity completely confidential. Hey.
Again, there is no inference to the positioning. There is no make believable, appealing to my logical brain, why I should even watch this. There is definitely no dopamine in this. Of course, the doctor has an authority. I think he is not a doctor, but he is a renowned sexual expert.
Are you sick and tired of feeling embarrassed or not seeking help for your erectile dysfunction? And do you wish you could finally enjoy being intimate with your partner without anxiety or fear?
Now, this is junior level copywriting, the classic problem or agitate, I don't know, the identifying the symptoms and asking people to self-identify for low awareness audience. And ED is a sophisticated market, and people with ED problems must have tried all the fuck out there. We are not going to sit and this is not going to be new to them. And even if you're targeting new adopters, there is better ways to tap into the emotion they are going through, and that is right now this is not happening. It's because it's just asking people to identify with the symptoms.
To rebuild your self-esteem and recognize that your value is more than just your sexual performance. If this sounds like you, you're in luck. In the next few minutes, I'm
in luck. I'm in luck there because I got a haha moment. There is definitely no haha moment to make me feel that I'm lucky. So it's that part is again.
I'm going to show you the most effective method on the planet to combat psychological erectile dysfunction.
See, when they say their most effective method, anyone can say that. But where is the make-believable claim? Where is the credibility? Instantly my mind thinks, give me something to make this credible. Of course, he's saying, let's wait for a few minutes.
And promote sexual wellness by leaving the stress and emotional baggage behind. Sounds good? Excellent. Now before
No, definitely not. It's not so. It doesn't sound good to me so far.
Teach you this, let me first say that it's not for everybody. I have to be ridiculously selective about who I share this with.
Okay, he is trying to pre-qualify. So what I see in this VSL, it's the basic copywriting template kind of thing they are using. Want people to qualify, want people to find something special, but there is nothing happening so far. I think I've already spent 3 minutes or 2 minutes.
With reasons you'll understand in just a moment. But first, let me show you what I'm talking about. Meet BH, a 53-year-old man who struggled with severe erectile dysfunction for 30 long years. Imagine his frustration, but it all changed when he decided to take...
See, he's talking about someone with 30 years of ED problem, and he's asking to imagine when you ask me, I couldn't imagine anything. Instead of asking people to work, giving work to their brain, tell me what it feels like. Where is the emotion in that statement? It's so dry.
Take a different approach to deal with it. He got the help he needed. And in just the second therapy session, the results were...
See, different method. What is the different method all about? Give me something, tell me what is the mechanism.
Were awesome. He was amazed to find that he could maintain erections extremely well for as long as needed while being with his partner. This therapy's key component in this case was inner child work. This addressed his...
Okay, so now we are getting to his mechanism. See, it took him like 2 minutes or 1 minute. I don't know. I think it's definitely more than 2 minutes to get into what he's talking about. But he sure has a positioning, a mechanism.
Diagnosed with type 1 diabetes just before his 12th birthday. He didn't realize it consciously, but his subconscious mind recognized it as a major factor in his condition. And thus finding a lasting solution felt unachievable for BH, because most of the time our problems remain unsolved since we tend to overlook what is lying below the surface. Literally the vast majority of...
And I really don't know what BH is, so I got to Google that.
People have no idea. Next, let me tell you about Lisa's husband. She sought help for his performance...
Okay, wait. Telling me testimonials, and that is now when he talked about the inner child, that gives some intrigue. So I see that as a reference to mechanism, but still, it's not more. It's not, again, it doesn't give me the credibility to watch this, even though if these are true stories,
as he unable to deal with his erectile dysfunction. Despite having a strong relationship, it prevented him from being intimate with her. However, after explaining, Lisa understood the link between stress, anxiety, and erectile dysfunction. To shift her husband's focus from his erection, I advised her to share stories with him during intimate moments. This strategy worked so well that he could easily maintain an erection through their intimacy. And this wasn't just a one-time thing. They continued to use this method successfully, which helped his anxiety and improved their relationship. Now, before I tell you exactly how I help you achieve these results, let me briefly explain who I am and why you should listen to me.
He is opening too many open loops. That's a problem. My mind can't keep it. Already I'm asking what is the rusty knife has to do with it, and what is the inner child. So everything is like an open loop. When you open a loop, close it before you start another one.
My name is Derek Thomas, and I'm a renowned expert in men's sexual wellness and relationship issues.
Why is he...
I also founded Derek Thomas Therapy, the leader in men's holistic sexual...
Again, why is he repeating this again? I don't understand that.
I help people like you overcome problems like erectile...
See, the problem with copy is he already introduced him, and then again he goes on introducing it.
Dysfunction, premature ejaculation, relationship challenges, and porn addiction with minimal time, effort, and frustration. I am passionate about assisting men to deal with these challenges because I faced a 10-year-long battle with erectile dysfunction myself. And during that time, I was overwhelmed.
See, now he gets to his story.
With stress and anxiety. But then I found a holistic approach to get...
But again, there is no emotion to it. 10 years doesn't mean anything, but Wednesday night I went, why do I even have this thing? I thought like every time I would see a woman and I couldn't get it up, I would wonder, why do I even have this thing? Because ED, people think a lot about suicide. It is attached to man's ego. Most men attach their performance with their ego. That is the emotion.
Getting over this obstacle. And I can understand how challenging this would be for you too. I suffered for a long time, but you shouldn't have to. Here's what I mean. Ever since I was a little kid, it was always about helping people. If I could, I'd have chosen empathy as my middle name. Because I love help.
See, instead of actually showing me the emotions, instead of showing and triggering my mirror neurons to self-identify with his story, and he is telling the story, he is narrating it, and that doesn't give me any emotion. That's a problem, because you have to give the visuals for people to see themselves in your world. Don't tell me you are an empath. Show me. It's a very basic principle in writing, copywriting, screenwriting.
Helping people during difficult times, telling them a way forward. So I decided to study psychology in college to make a formal impact in helping people. But just after a semester, I realized that the bookish methods weren't effective enough to reach people on a truly emotional level. So I looked for other ways to help people on that deeper level and discovered hypnosis. But not just any kind of hypnosis. I researched the best and wide range of hypnosis methods I could find. I studied everything from traditional to advanced conversational and Ericksonian hypnosis. However, I wasn't satisfied with.
So what he's trying to do is talking something about his passion, why he chose history. Why does that matter to me? Even though that I have to think, I really have to think hard in my mind. He talks something about inner child, he talks something about stress. So yeah, his hypnosis, his kind of approach is going to show some correlation, but nothing is coming out clearly to me. He's talking about his passion, he's talking about himself. How does that relate to ED? It should come across.
With just the basics, so I dug deep into the most powerful approaches to help people. I studied hypnosis thoroughly. I ended up discovering much about
So of course he is
myself in
qualified.
the process, and I utilized
And I love this. Like, you showing credibility is definitely
to
awesome.
tackle my own challenges. As mentioned earlier, embarrassingly enough, I had struggled with my own erectile dysfunction for years.
See, again he's repeating, oh I struggled, oh I struggled. It doesn't mean anything.
And similar to most men, I just took a pill, but that didn't always work. In fact, it left me feeling weak and defeated. Eventually, I went to see a urologist, but he didn't ask me anything about my history. Instead, he simply prescribed me some pills and sent me away. My consultation with him lasted less than my erections usually.
So-
At the time, I didn't know any better.
So what he's trying, like, tell me why other solutions are not working. USP, which is cool, but again there is no detailing why the pills didn't work, why Viagra or Cialis doesn't work, because it just pumps blood down there. It doesn't give the emotion, or it doesn't reduce anxiety, which is what he's going to solve.
However, I understood that most doctors just treat the symptoms of ED with medication. They never try to go deep or try to know anything about the root cause. Prescribing a pill is far easier than knowing the root cause, so why deal with the trouble? So I spent years spinning in circles, taking pills and trying gadgets, and as you guessed, nothing really solved the problem. It took me some time to realize that ED is like a big onion which has to be peeled layer by layer. And
Okay, now he's getting somewhere.
I didn't have the time or patience to try one layer at a time like most of you. I wanted instant results. I felt paralyzed and didn't know where to start. Having ED is embarrassing because we men don't feel like men if we can't get a.
Can you, he has so much opportunities to agitate or make people to self-identify with the problem that they are going through, but he didn't do it with the testimonial properly, with introducing his story properly. But again, in the middle where I want the solution, and yet he's trying to agitate me that ED is bad. It's bad for men. ED makes men worse.
Boner. Most men, this is the way it is, and we're supposed to just accept it. Take a pill, says the doctor. Now that said, pills have
Again, repetition, being redundant.
place, but deep down, I knew I needed an all-in approach because I couldn't just keep using a temporary fix like a Band-Aid for my issue. I tried supplements, fixed bad habits, and exercised regularly. And don't get me
Again, trying with the USP, but it's
wrong,
all
those are all
redundant.
great, but still weren't enough.
See, I'm seriously waiting for the dopamine. There is no dopamine or something that is revealing to me, because if you don't try to appeal to sophisticated buyers, even if you are talking to low awareness audience, the late adopter, the new adopters, this copy is not going to work. Low awareness audience, even if you're targeting low awareness audience who just got the problem, this copy isn't intriguing. It doesn't keep the attention hooked because of the inconsistency in the way the copy is structured. There is no emotion, no
Honestly,
flow.
couldn't figure out none. A key element was missing. I didn't understand the stress and emotion behind my idea or where it came from.
Wow, if stress and emotions, if that is the mechanism, if it's the deeper core, if he's identifying with ED with, and if I have to wait till now, maybe 3 minutes, 4 minutes, no, it's people are, this is not going to convert because it took you so long to get to the real core. Instead, there are so many ways to make people to relate to this, to self-identify. So what with people with anxiety and stress do? They might take PD stress inhibitors, like people who take pills. That kind of pills might help people to self-identify with what he's talking about. If people are taking pills for anxiety, it's going to create a ED problem. So that is an instant self-identification. Instead of asking Rusty knife, if he had shown the pill, that's self-identification.
But I definitely refused to accept aging as an excuse. That couldn't be it. So I decided to work on myself and began exploring the underlying cause. Then hypnosis worked like magic for me. It helped me understand my performance anxiety, where it came from, and how to deal with it. Every little success felt like a win. I went from struggling with consistency and confidence to staying strong and confident throughout. After one encounter where everything went smoothly for 5 days straight, I was stunned, like I'm going 5 days in a row without using one pill. Fuck yeah. I knew I was on to something. And this wasn't something small. I wanted to share this breakthrough because I knew others with similar struggles. Understand?
It took him like so long to just introduce hypnosis. The deeper core is, there was no inference to the deeper core in the headline, in the hook, and it took him to just introduce hypnosis so long. This is why VSLs are not working. Because when you are telling water is wet or sky is blue, it's not going to work. And hypnosis, I need to know more. Why does your hypnosis work? What makes your hypnosis special? So when that, so far I'm not going to watch this video anymore. But this is the problem with this copy, because with this VSL, the mechanism hypnosis that he uses, it's not hooked in the beginning. So what he tried so far, until I watched it so far, until there is no reference to the rusty knife. So I'm lost. And people, doesn't make me excited. This is not going to make the prospects excited to click that book, claim your free session, because it's junior level copy with no self-identification, and it doesn't give me a reason to watch further. I hope this video was helpful. Let me know what you think if you watched it this far. Cheers.